What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central. Bobby, Haize, we in the building today, hold it down on the Daily Show. We're going to talk about why Bears fans may be disappointed by what we get back for Robert Quinn. We're also going to talk about Kyler Gordon and if he's ready for what the New England Patriots are about to do to that boy. We're going to get into all that and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
All right, bro. So we know we talked about it before. The Bears are expected to shop Robert Quinn towards the trade deadline. And while, we could talk a lot about what we would want back, I want to be realistic with this. And I want to talk about why we may be disappointed in what we get back for Robert Quinn. Now, I still think overall in saying this and what we're going to get into that polls may still find a way to turn that into positive compensation or whatever it is. But we can talk about this back and forth. So the first one is just Robert Quinn's lack of production. How bad he's been this season, bro.
Yes.
He has a win rate of 11.5%. This time last season, it was 21.9%. His pass rush productivity is down from 14.9 to 6.6. We already know if you watch the game, we see it. Robert Quinn does not play good, but to see those percentages drop that much is wild, bro. What do you think about it?
It definitely is wild, man. And then a lot of people be like, well, he ain't doing good over there. What makes y'all think he gonna do good over here? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it definitely will be a challenge to think that, because I know that I've been pushing on, let's use him to go get, Chase Claypool. But in reality, what if Mike Tomlin and those guys over there in the front office like, well, is the compensation gonna be good? We don't know. But we'll take them off your hands for a 5th round pick or something. Somebody gonna try to throw, a low ball trade, but to see what you can get out of them. And obviously with the production, you can't be greedy. My man had 1 tackle last week. He has 1 sack on the season, and the Bears played 6 games already. That's not good enough. If my man's would have gave about 3 or 4 sacks, they'd be like, okay, we could probably work with it, but not as of right now.
And Robert Quinn's always been an up and down player, right? He's always had the seasons where he looks really, really good, so-so season, bad season, whatever it is. But this is different, bro. I don't know if he's just not interested. He could very well get traded and then just because he's competing for something, it flips the switch, but he looks slow out there. He's getting beaten ways that we didn't see last season, bro. And sometimes I'm not ready to say it is yet because I want to see in whatever happens, what team he goes to, whatever, how he plays. But like sometimes it does happen that way. A player will fall off in one season and it goes completely left. And while Robert Quinn has been very productive overall in his NFL career, he's always had that up and downness to his game. So I definitely think that's going to be the biggest sticking point and taking it out of the next one is also his money, bro. So he still is owed 2 years, $7 million over the rest of his contract. Now the Bears could take on a lot of that money, which could up, what compensation they get back for it. But that money for a player that's also not producing well and an aging veteran, that's going to be a big thing that harpens this deal potentially. What do you think about that?
I agree with it, man. Because ain't he like 32 years old? So yeah, they probably thinking, yeah, man, he might be, wearing down a little bit. They was like, yeah, we take him on for another 2 years. But what if what if he had 18 and a half sacks last year, only giving us 1 sack this year? Some team might be like, yeah, you might pay for him, but is it good enough? You know what I mean? Is it good enough? So I'm with you on that. My guy, he's struggling right now. And I'm leaning towards the side that, man, we ain't about to win shit. I'm just going to come in every day, be a professional, collect my check, and, hey, go home. That's probably his train of thought right now. I can't speak for him, but that's just what I think.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that the record-setting season he had last season to come and be like this, bro. Like, even if he's usually having his usual down season after a great season, this is just different, bro. I really do. Like, if he doesn't want to be there, I hope that he is moved. If that's affecting him giving his all, I hope that it does happen for him. And at the end of the day, like, we all kind of saw the writing on the wall, right? As when the veterans were in this offseason, when the team was trading veterans this offseason or not signing them or whatever, everybody kind of looked at the Robert Quinn thing like, oh, well, Robert Quinn's going to naturally be the next one. And then when that didn't happen, there were some calls for optimism and what that could mean for this defense, what that could do for the younger players. But at this point now, like I said before, with Dominique Robinson and Travis Gibson looking as good as they are, bro, I'm willing to just take a roll of the dice at the young guys and let them figure it out. And then let's get off as much as this veteran money as we can, because the production, like, there's nothing in Robert Quinn's game that says we need him on this team, unfortunately. And that's just what it is at this point.
Yeah, and I'm with you because if you think about it, he got 18 and a half sacks and Khalil Mack was hurt. He did most of his damage with Travis Gibson. So why can't you produce the same way? So I'm just with you, man. It's just, you might, as the Bears, you might just have to, I ain't saying accept anything. You don't give them away for a 7-round pick. But if somebody coming up for a 3rd or a 4th, you might have to think about it because he ain't being productive. And you seen with the little time that you've given to Dominique Robinson and Travis Gibson, they've been productive. They've been playing their tail off for the time that they've been given. So why not roll the dice? You building a team, right? So if you can figure out if Dominique Robinson can play on the side that Robert Quinn is playing on, that right there continues to shorten that list of things that you have to address in the offseason. Get a young guys a chance if that's the route that you want to go.
For sure. And then the last thing on this list that we want to talk about is just what is the demand really for Robert Quinn? Like when you look at him and what he theoretically brings, right? And that's an edge rusher, even though he hasn't done that so far this season. But if a team that's contending is looking at that, the asses that you're willing to give up as a contending team, like at that point, what a 3rd round pick on a contending team is really like a 4th round pick just because the pick's going to be lower. So you got to look at like the teams that would want Robert Quinn are going to be contenders. You're not going to get this team that just isn't doing much, that has all these draft picks that are going to be like, hey, let's give up some of that for Robert Quinn. It's going to have to be a contender. So you got to look at teams like, I'm not even going to name some teams. I do have them on this list, but I'm not going to name them per se. But like, then I am. Like the 49ers could do it. They just made a big trade. Could the 49ers look to give up more draft compensation? Could the Eagles do it? Like teams like that. But the fact of the matter is with those teams that they do that, the compensation we get back is already going to be lower than what we expect just by the nature of what those teams get. What do you think about that, about the demand for Robert Quinn and then the teams that may be in demand for him? The asses back may just not be what we think we're going to get for. What do you think?
And I'm with you, bro. I think that the demand is kind of low on them right now. So a lot of teams with the teams in contention, pretty much, bro, they don't have a lot to give up. LA Rams, they don't have a lot to give up. You just seen what the Niners just gave up for Christian McCaffrey. So now they don't have a lot because these teams, they be like, man, we got a solid team. We paying these players. We got players all around on this team. This could be a missing link. But in our reality, your man hasn't been productive. He only got 1 sack on the season. We know what he did last year, but in 6 games this year, he ain't did much. So if you expect me to come out and, unload several picks for Robert Quinn, it might not be in there. It might not be good for the Chicago Bears, or it may not be good for that franchise that's trying to acquire him. Because if you're looking at the Ravens too, they got people paid up over there as well because they in contention. You know what I'm saying? Even though they do have some issues on their defense who gave up a couple games this season. But at the same time, the rebuttal to any deal you try to get done is my man's only got 1 sack this entire season in 6 games. And last week against a team that you could have took advantage of because they had some people go out during the game, Robert Quinn only had 1 tackle. So it's a lot of rebuttals that they can throw out there. And you can be like, no, we'll give you a 4th, and then you're gonna have to think on it.
The thing that with NFL trades that are different than like almost any other sport, I don't really follow MLB as close to know like what their trade structure is, but the fact that the NFL, like you can trade away a player, but then still take on some of their salary, it could help the Bears get a little bit more draft capital back. Because then at that point, you're taking on a lot of that risk for the other team as far as financially. But even then, it's just going to be hard to incentivize a team to give up a considerable pick when he's not. It all goes back to the production. But at this point, you can't expect for him to produce all of a sudden. The trade deadline ain't too far away. Like we pushing 3 weeks away from it.
Yeah, so it's coming soon.
So we got to figure it out. Like, and at the end of the day, I just wanted to talk about this topic because I wanted to be realistic with it. Right? Is that the Bears are probably not going to get back what some of us were hoping for Robert Quinn. We're not trading the Robert Quinn of last season. I think that's how a lot of Bears fans are looking at it, as if we're trading the 18.5 sack guy away. And unfortunately, his play this season, that's not who we're trading away, bro.
Facts, because his stock, I believe everybody can agree that his stock was higher during the offseason. But after 6 games, man, it went down. It's red, like how the market red right now. So you ain't getting much if we being realistic. So
So there you go, man. The next thing up, and I just realized that both these topics are pretty depressing, but F it, man. It is what it is.
Hey, we got to
so
push on.
So, bro, I was looking at some things, and Jakobi Meyers from the New England Patriots, who lines up at the slot mostly, he plays 69% of his snaps at the slot. So that means he's only going to line up on Jalen Johnson's side of the ball 9% of the time going into the game so far. So that means that they are about to expose. Bill Belichick is about to completely pick on Kyler Gordon badly. It's about to be bad, bro. So far this season, Jakobi Meyers is averaging 2.74 yards per route run. And Kyler Gordon is allowing 2.5 yards per route run against him. This is about to get ugly real quick, bro. Like, what do you think? Like, this test of Kyler Gordon, and the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because a lot of Bears fans are down on him. He's been improving slowly but surely, and things like this I think are going to help him in the long run. But bro, it's about to be ugly for Kyler Gordon on Monday, isn't it?
Woo! Hey, quick thing. You remember in the Matrix when Neo thought he can whoop Morpheus' ass?
Oh, yeah.
This is Kyler Gordon's Neo moment right here. Because Bill Belichick, great defensive man, and you already know when he puts together a game plan, he wants to attack the weaknesses against whatever team he's facing. He doesn't go in saying, hey, we're going to do this every single week. No, he's a guy that tailors his game plan based on the teams that they facing. So it's just going to be one of those Neo moments. Young fella, you a rookie. You had good, you played well, improved the last 2 weeks. But now it's time to face the master or the sensei or whatever you want to call it. And we gonna see. We gonna see. I hope that my mans can at least, step up and get in the mindset like y'all not going to pick on me. But I'm going to tell y'all, my confidence meter is not that high. Going against Bill Belichick, the man has beaten the Bears 5 straight times. So
he's 5-1 against the Bears, bro. That's crazy.
Yes,
that's
beating us
wild
5 straight times. So,
bro, this game is going to be, and we kind of talked about it the other day. Like, this is going to be a game where the Bears are going to be tested a lot, but like somebody like they're going to be a few people that are targeted. Kyler Gordon on the defensive end is going to be targeted heavily.
Yep.
And then on the offensive side of the ball, I tell you what, I love Larry Borum and Braxton Jones, but they better be prepared, bro, because they come.
Yeah.
They
coming, bro. They coming. Judon, that man, he play like his hair on fire. On the real, he be coming.
This game could be ugly for the Bears, bro. Like, I'm really concerned about the game. I don't want to get too much into it. We're gonna do a pregame show. We'll talk about all that then. But this is gonna be one of those games, bro. And then Luke Getsy. Listen, your play calling got to be A1 because Bill Belichick already know what you finna do. He know your first 10 plays before you knew your first 10 plays. Bro.
Yeah,
you better
absolutely.
Watch out.
Absolutely. So, my man's going to be like, oh, y'all think y'all, because we already know the Bears, they want to run the ball. So they about to sack the box. They're going to say, hey, Justin Fields, pass the ball. But then as soon as you be like, all right, we're going to pass the ball, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, sweat, demoralized, whatever word you want to insert in there. He killed Braxton Jones last week. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, so Bill Belichick, I'm like, rookie left tackle. Let's go. Judon, get over there. Get over there.
That's all
you
it is.
You got a choice. Get over there. So we'll see.
We'll see, man. We'll see, but we will continue to monitor it, man. We're going to have our pregame. We'll probably actually do, I'm guessing, the pregame show on Sunday since we don't have a game Sunday. That'll probably be the best time. So be on the lookout for us coming Sunday. With that, Bobby, go and give them the social media, man. Let's get up out of here.
All right, y'all. Y'all already know. Tonight is game day for the Chicago Bulls, so y'all tune into that. And then y'all just get ready for the Chicago Bears on Monday night. It's prime time. Bears, please don't embarrass us. At least play hard. Let's do the damn thing. But, hey, head on over to Shy Bulls Podcast with me and C-Dub over there. If you want more from my guy Haize, hit him up on all social media platforms at CEO Haize. Don't forget to subscribe to Chicago Sports Central. And don't forget to subscribe to hit up NBA Central.
We got some things coming. We working over here. That's it. We working. But that is it for today's episode of Chicago Bears Central, man. Make sure you're following us at Shy Bear Central on every social media platform. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, you want to leave a text and or voicemail, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. Bear down, y'all. Peace.
Boom.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.